All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another Freedom and Wealth Seekers podcast, episode number 34. Episode number 34. 34 is a special number to me. I grew up a big fan of Bo Jackson, who actually wore that number when he played for the Los Angeles Raiders. One of my favorite, if not, I believe, the greatest running back whose career was cut short due to an injury, but he was on his way to being the greatest running back to ever play the game. That's just my own personal opinion and belief. Um, but anyway, folks, I'm excited to be back in the lab. Just got back from Sarasota, Florida, beautiful Sarasota. It was my first time there. Did not get a chance to see everything that I wanted to see, but actually got a chance to connect with some old friends and come to find out, you ever been on a vacation and a family member was down there you didn't know until you got home? So that happened. But other than that, it was a really nice trip. I'm gonna let some more people into the Zoom. Folks, y'all just missed all the information if you just logged in. I just shared how to buy a house for $400. No, I'm just kidding. But it's great to be back in the lab. Direct Mail Wednesday is here again. We are actually on Freedom and Wealth lesson number 8. So I'm excited about that. And I'm more excited for you all. Uh, you, I got to clear something up. You don't need my permission to share the podcast or the YouTube links. Like some of you send me texts like, is it okay if I invite? Like this is open to the public. I want you to share. This is one of my ways of giving back to the community and also building the community. Like we're all in this together. We're building the Freedom and Wealth Seekers community together. So I appreciate the shares, the subscribes, the likes, and even the comments. I am going to be releasing snippets of the podcast episodes very soon. I have a video editor that that wants more work. We've worked on several projects together in the past, so he hit me up and he says, I want to take the podcast to another level. So you guys, ladies and gentlemen, are going to see some new things being sent out via text. Now, my number may change. Uh, my number may change. It is what it is, but it may be working out for the best. I will still, once my number changes, I'll send out the new number, and that's if it changes, so you all can still communicate with me via text. So I'm going to jump into the disclaimer, and then we're going to jump into the content for tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, understand that my content is intended and must be used for informational and sometimes even entertainment purposes only. It is very important that you do your own due diligence before implementing any of the strategies and methods mentioned, and also using any of the tools or resources that we share. Any results shared on my platform are not typical, okay? Any investments that you make are based on your own personal financial circumstances, and I recommend that you consult with a licensed professional and verify anything that I say. So let's see, there's one more person in the waiting room. So back to Direct Mail Wednesday. I call it DM Wednesday. So this is a white postcard. Okay. This is not your standard size postcard. I believe this is 8x6, and it's a really nice postcard. It's handwritten font, and it happens to be coming from, I believe, the biggest home buyer in Maryland right now. and that's CR of Maryland. They've been featured on the podcast before, a couple of their direct mail pieces. And they sent me this postcard. Now, the headline says Maryland's trusted home buyer. All right. Now, if you're in my market, you've seen their commercials. I believe they have a commercial, and I believe they use that tagline, Maryland's trusted home buyer, in the commercial. Now, really quick, I also consistently get postcards from another company that uses the word trusted home buyer. Now, CR, I'm pretty sure they're getting mail. I've sent this company mail about their properties. I know other investors send mail as well. The word trusted, right? The word Maryland, it rings a bell. Maryland rings a bell. If you're getting a postcard, it rings a bell on two levels, right? It rings a bell that the prospect may have seen them on TV or heard their radio ad. It also rings a bell instantly because we live in Maryland, right? Trusted is a word that they have been seeing for years. Okay, I've been seeing that word for years. Okay, I'm pretty sure CR has been seeing that word for years from a company that uses that word in their marketing. All right, so I believe, I'm pretty sure. I mean, to be the number one home buyer in the state, you have to have a team of folks that specialize in data science. Okay, and they're looking at all the different indicators. They're looking at all the different metrics. They're looking at all the competition. They're looking at all of they're doing what I do. They collect direct mail. Okay, so any direct mail that comes in, I know they're not just shredding it or throwing it away. They're studying it. And if you all have been following this podcast, they've changed their postcard. Their postcard was a lot smaller at one point, and they used either pink or yellow postcards. So underneath the headline, right? Some of you may not be able to see this. I'm gonna read it to you. It says, "We'd like to give you an offer on your home in cash." Okay, we'd like to give you an offer on your home in cash. Then they have a testimonial right here. And this was genius. I've talked about this on my podcast, using testimonials. And Craig, his team, I don't know. I actually gave him a tough critique on one of his mail pieces, and I'm pretty sure it got back to him some way. And he's probably been watching these InfoPack podcasts, because up until this point, I have never received, maybe one, but I've never received a postcard from him over the last 5 years. And I've been getting his postcards for about 5 years now, with a testimonial on the front of the postcard, or on the postcard period, right? Then on the back, he got personal. "Hi, Marcel Humphrey." He took some time. He didn't tell me what property that he's interested in. Okay. But he took some time, and I have some properties that are vacant, and this is what they go after. "My name is Craig Wright. You may have received a postcard from me. I'm still okay." This is excellent. "You may have received a postcard from me." So he's not misleading us. Okay. He's not misleading. And that's a disarming strategy, because there's a lot of people, and real estate investors tend to get a dark cloud over them in regards to their marketing and how they buy properties. He's disarming the prospect. It started with trusted. Okay. Maryland's trusted. And then he disarms again. "You may." And when you use the word may, our subconscious mind thinks they're asking permission. Okay. So he's speaking to his prospects from a place of servitude. Like he's coming to serve. That's what I'm getting as I read this, right? And everybody reads things differently. Everybody comprehends things differently, and I get it. But this is what I see through my lens. So you may have received a postcard from me, exclamation point. I'm still interested in your property and would love to give you an as-is cash offer. Now, I'm breaking down this postcard line by line. I'm still interested. That was genius. Remember, Maryland's trusted. There's a competitor. It's write this down if you're taking notes. It's very important to study your competition because you can use your competition as a tool for you to gain an advantage in the market. I'm not saying Craig's doing that, but I'm no fool. And like I said, I receive postcards from a company called Trusted Home Buyers all the time in letters. And I know I'm not the only one. So when he states, you may have received my postcard, and then he goes in and says, I'm still interested, that rings another bell. It disarms. Oh yeah, I remember that. Trusted. Yeah, I remember that. Like, it's biggest day. That's the biggest thing on the front of the postcard. They may be thinking, Trusted is the person calling. Okay. His CR Maryland, his brand is up at the top. It's really small. Nobody's really paying attention to that. They're paying attention to all this action in here, the arrow. Oh, another thing that's on the front, the red arrow, red arrow. This is not a plain Jane postcard. It's something that pops right out, that red, and it drives them to some trigger words. I would like to give you an offer on your house, on your home in cash. Okay, when you say in cash, again, our subconscious automatically visualizes, for some people, cash sitting on the table, or cash, or loads of cash, depending on where that person may be financially in their life at that point. I think Craig's been watching the Freedom of Wealth Seekers podcast. Craig, would love to have you on if you're watching. We're going to be rolling out interviews soon. We got something special. We got to hit 50 first, though. We got to hit 50. We got to keep growing. He says, call or text me today. You all, if you've been taking notes on these DM Wednesdays, direct mail Wednesdays, you got to always leave at least 2 ways for the prospect to reach you. You give them 2 options, call or text, right? We can help with. And then he has bullet points: win-win solutions, low or no credit, challenging situations, removing headaches. Craig Wright, owner and founder, and there's a picture of him. Craig, maybe you can school me if you're a guest on the podcast, but I think somebody at Craig's marketing department made a mistake. See, Craig's also one of the biggest Keller Williams brokers, from my knowledge. Last organization I knew he was affiliated with was Keller Williams, one of the biggest real estate companies in the world. He was with them, but I think somebody made a mistake. Whoever created this, low or no credit has nothing to do with selling a house. It's everything to do with buying a house. But Craig's trying to buy my house, so he threw me off. There may be a lot going on over there, and somebody dropped the ball, but maybe it's a strategy. Okay, sometimes I dissect these mail pieces too much, and I tell y'all, folks, this is what I tell my students, right? Good is good enough. Good is good enough. You are going to write letters, you're going to send out postcards, and you may write 50 letters, and then you figure out it's a typo. Or you figure out the printer that printed your postcards made a mistake. Send them out. Understand this, write this down. If someone really wants to sell their house, they are going to call you. We only want the people that need to sell their property. And I'm pretty sure Craig knows that, and he doesn't care about that one little bullet point, low or no credit. And it could be some type of reverse psychology. Is he saying most people, or did, is he saying most people that need to sell their house, their own vacant property, have low credit scores? So I don't know what science behind that, but I would love to find out. But this, all in all, I got to give it 2 thumbs up. I think he's been taking notes watching our podcast, and I'm holding on to this. This is new, and I'm going to use it. Craig, thank you for this idea. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Folks, welcome. Welcome. Direct Mail Wednesday. That was excellent. So Freedom and Wealth lesson number 8. I hope you all got something from that. Put in the chat if you learned something just from that segment. Yeah, KW is the biggest brokerage in the world. Somebody just found that out last week. Okay, good. Good. So the lesson for this week, I'm going to go out on a limb and say how to survive a recession. All right. There's a lot of news going on. Inflation's starting to come down a bit, and gas prices are starting to come down, but there's still things that are very expensive, like cars and homes. Okay, you're hearing about people not paying their loans over in China on real estate. And I haven't dug deep into that yet, but there could be some type of effect that has on the US economy in some form or fashion. Okay, I don't know. We're going to find out. You're also seeing articles. I'm going to share an article with you shortly about used to be one of the hottest markets in the country, San Francisco, and how the prices are starting to decrease down there, over there on the west side. So how to survive a recession, right? And this is whether you're in real estate right now, whether you're just getting started, whether you're a seasoned veteran like myself. It doesn't matter where you're at. During a recession, you have to educate yourself. Most of my time throughout the day, I'm educating myself. I'm listening to my mentors. Like, one thing that I'm huge on right now is investing in stocks. Okay, learning how to invest in stocks and knowing what I'm doing. Okay, that's something that I never mastered, and I still haven't mastered it. But that's something I never even took serious early on in my real estate investing career. And I tell all of my students, this is free game for everybody. When you close your real estate transactions, your deals, that money, that earned income, needs to be put to work. And I recommend, this is what I do, I invest in the stock market. And I'm learning from, I believe, the best, who I can clearly understand. That's Wall Street Trapper and Ian Dunlap. I clearly understand what the language that they speak. All right, they make it so simple and easy. Okay, not only that, if you're one of the people that haven't made any money in real estate, and I recommend it, you don't have to be in real estate to be in stocks. Like, invest. Okay, that's my recommendation. Learn how to invest. When I say invest, invest in your education, right? Invest, invest, invest in your education. The more you learn, like the more I learn about stocks, the more comfortable I become. And I remember when I was learning about how to buy and sell real estate, the more I studied it, the more confident I became in implementing. It's the same principle. It's the same exact principle. So I watch less TV, right? I get up earlier. When the first recession hit, it was a huge wake-up call. Oh wait, I was getting up 5:30 every single day grinding. I had to change my mindset. I refused to retreat. And this is nothing like 2008 right now, as of right now. It's so much talk. We're in a recession. 2008, it was crickets. It was crickets. Like, we're in a recession. Everybody's broke, right? That's what the word was on the street. But I refused to have that, to conform to that mindset. Like, it was a song. It's a recession. Everybody's broke. I wasn't thinking broke. My bank account may have looked a certain way, but I didn't have a broke mindset mentality because I was pumping myself with information, how to survive a recession. And some of you have been around since 08, 09. I created the Flip This Recession movement. And that was my first live event in at the BWI airport in 2011. We had about 100 people come out for that 2-day event. It was in classroom. Then we went on a bus tour throughout Baltimore, showed you different investment properties and deals I was working on, as well as my students. It was a great event. But that whole thing, like, you understand, I had to flip my mindset. I had to learn how to hold an event. I had to learn how to put a PowerPoint presentation together during a recession. All the same time, still run my real estate business and survive the recession. Okay. So the lesson for today, the Freedom and Wealth Seeker lesson for today, number 8, is how to survive a recession. Educate yourself. Okay. We will be opening up enrollment soon for the Freedom and Wealth Seekers Academy. Since I sent out the recent case study of a student partner who purchased a local government foreclosure for $400, I've been getting a lot of people asking about coaching, and I have replied to everyone that has sent me that text. If I miss you, send me another text. I'm human, but that gets a lot of people's attention, right? It definitely does. I would definitely agree to that. And it's real. Now, is it typical results? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not typical that everybody on here will buy a house for $400. That is not typical. But is it do you have is there a huge opportunity to do that? Absolutely, all over the United States. I'm going to be holding a class soon, and I'm going to show you lists, and it's going to be eye-opening to see. You're going to see how much people just like you, how much property people just like you are buying all around the United States. I'm going to show you the prices that they're getting these properties for. It's totally eye-opening. Totally eye-opening. And it's crazy. I've been doing this since 2002, and I'm starting to see the local government foreclosure industry evolve, where now the competitors, the institutions are really being aggressive now. They can, because everything is online now. So the hedge funds, the banks, the smaller investment groups, if they have $1 million to $50 million sitting and they want to put it to work, they can, I mean, everything's data driven now too, ladies and gentlemen. So I know there is technology out here that are participating in online auctions. Okay. Any human behavior, any human interactions over the computer can be automated. Understand that. So I know for a fact that we're competing against artificial intelligence now. I know that's here because I'm seeing the numbers of inventory go down in my market that I buy a lot of local government foreclosures in. And now I'm looking at other. I was just in Sarasota, Florida, and I was blown away. The housing market down there. I mean, they had low income, they had very high income, but I was like, they had middle income. Like, I was like, oh, this is a great market. This is a great market. And I talked to another investor not too far from that market that's in Florida, and he said, yep, it's opportunity in Sarasota. It's opportunity everywhere. And we've always said that. News for the day. Let me share this article with you all. See what we got here. Apple TV. I don't know how many of y'all invested in Apple back in the 80s, but salute if you did. All right, real estate, home sales down, price reductions up as Bay Area housing market cools. The Bay Area housing market continues to cool, with new data from Compass showing that price reductions in the region are up nearly 200%. Well. There were articles 3 years ago saying how people had to leave San Francisco because housing prices went up so high, the cost of living. I am going to share this article with everybody. Again, I didn't even have to read the entire article. Just the headline and the first couple sentences told me, oh, there's going to be some opportunity in San Francisco soon. And not saying it isn't any now, but when prices start declining, that creates more inventory, right? Because people are trying to get their property sold. That's a sign that properties are sitting, okay? Not only that, there are going to be some distressed sales most likely coming out of that market if properties are sitting, if people are underwater. There are going to be some pre-foreclosure opportunities. But also, there are going to be some local government foreclosure opportunities too. And that's what I love. I can't wait to look into the Bay Area local government foreclosure list, and it's all online. It's all online. Going into case study, right? So this case study, I wanna shout out Inner Circle 101 student Sharita Singleton, who is absolutely crushing it. I also have to shout out Tim Perry, who's absolutely crushing it. Shout out to Tim. Inner Circle members, 101s. Tim has like 6 local government foreclosures. 6 and counting. He is not taking any prisoners. So Sharita's $400, it was actually $420 and some change. She found a list of available properties. She did her due diligence. Okay, and her due diligence. You have to understand something, folks. When you see a list of properties and you see, don't get excited when you see a $500 or $1,000 local government foreclosure available. There is a lot of homework and steps that go into figuring out if that's a viable deal for you. So Sharita used this strategy to acquire that $420 local government foreclosure, but she did her homework. She located the owner, right? And there's certain types of owners that we look for when we purchase these types of instruments. Okay. The other thing she did was she looked into the property. You know, is there a mortgage on the property? Are there any other liens on the property? How many interested parties have interest in the property? She also looked at the neighborhood. Several different things go into figuring out if this is a good investment. Even though it's only $400, you're probably like, you can waste $400 in this business. And that's not typical. Okay. Tim's average local government foreclosure is anywhere between $3,000 and $7,000. I think the highest local LGF, I call them LGF, for Tim was like 11K. Okay. So they're all different price points. My first local government foreclosure, LGF, was $850.79. Since then, I've been averaging anywhere between $2,500 and $9,000. That's been my price point just in my market. Just in my market. But you have markets all over the country. You can go down south, Mississippi. You can go to Texas. You can go to California. And the prices are going to change. Like, there are people buying local government foreclosures for $500,000, but the property is worth $1.7 million. There's room for everybody to eat. Everybody can eat in this arena. So Sharita did her homework. She did her homework. Folks, very soon I'm going to be holding a web class. It's going to be on a Saturday. It's going to be a local government foreclosure class. I'm going to show you lists. I'm going to show you my due diligence process. You do not want to miss that class. Okay. It's not enough time on a podcast to go through the whole process, but it is definitely worth the wait. And folks, I'm a strong believer in teaching you all how to become owners, business owners, property owners. Okay. We're in real estate. I can teach you how to wholesale and flip a house, but more importantly, owning a property like Sharita has, and all of you are going to have the opportunity to buy properties fractions of pennies. Okay. Fractions of pennies. Houses in the neighborhood where Sharita purchased are going for 150 to 200,000. If she gets that property, she got the property for less than 500 bucks. Okay. There's still a process that she has, and a path she is now on to acquire the property and get the deed to that property. But I tell you what, her $420 is secured by the local government. It's guaranteed. Okay. Because she's done all the proper due diligence up until this point. But the goal is to gain ownership of the property free and clear. And now she will eventually, if all the stars align, she will own an asset free and clear that she can now leverage. She could sell if she wants. But if she leverages the property, she doesn't lose either way. If she leverages the property, she could rent out, create cash flow. She could refinance, have more capital to go and buy more local government foreclosures all over the country. And she could do the same thing if she sells. However, she will lose cash flow. But hey, who knows? Sharita might be in the stock market and she may have a dividend stock that she likes and she could create cash flow that way. Who knows, right? However, she's in the game. I want everybody in the game. I want all of the freedom and wealth seekers in the game. But you got to educate yourself. So, folks, I am going to end here. This has been great. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to meeting you all at the closing table very, very soon. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you on episode 35 next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time. Folks, keep sharing, liking, and subscribing to the REI Inner Circle YouTube channel. Let's keep building the Freedom and Wealth Seeker podcast. This community is great. I'm excited and I'm happy to be here. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.